We got ourselves Team 1 together with Broton as a Feral, with Buff Warrior as a Necrolord Arms Warrior, Grim Grip as more of that Venthyr Fury, with Christina as a Paladin, and KYB as a Shadow Priest with a new Shadow Priest talents. We got ourselves on the other team, we got ourselves Chicago, we got ourselves your boy Seawark as Arcane, as a Necrolord Arcane, I don't even know how to say your name. Spencer, and we got ourselves Yandex. We gotta have to figure out what you can do with Swill. Swill, is that what you call him? Stormbolt out of Buff Warrior as Chicago rolls up as a dwarf with a new customizations. Looks actually so good. Big old warrior going huge, massive avatar, banners up. Trying to see if he can catch up to Chicago, trying to see if he can maximize the damage. I wonder if anybody here is running new Honor Towns. I wonder if Chicago is running the new Shield Honor Town to be able to knock people back. Or static charge stone by any measure. I wonder if that'll be a thing. Chicago, though, trying to see if he can tussle with the muscle. Buff Warrior so far doing a-okay. Surviving Chicago, actually controlling the fight pretty well. Is going to get himself a little bit of a ignore pain rolling quite early. Gonna be a Kyrian. Is that a Kyrian totem for Chicago? Wait, you just dropped down Vesper totem? Wait, you are Kyrian. Look at your back piece. Wait a second. Are you trying out the new Lego with the Vesper totem? Is that what that is? I really can't tell. I think he's Ghost Wolf. No, he is Ghost Wolf Legendary. 100% Ghost Wolf Legendary Warrior. Try to back away as the Thunder comes up. Buff isn't going anywhere just yet. Another Stormbolt getting set up. Does go into battle stance against Chicago. Trying to max out the damage. Big Stormbolt to Chicago. Who's just going to try to see if he can bail out of there for the time being. Oh, interesting, dude. Kyrian, double lethal warrior. Trying to see if he can get the hell out of there. Is that legendary he's rolling? Strong totem around the corner. Buff warrior is going to trick it out of the lane. Parry over to Chicago. Wolves are joining the fight. Are going to start nipping in the butt of the warrior. Fleshcraft is up for the man himself. They should be able to maintain himself quite a bit. If he can overlap constantly that Fleshcraft together with Ignore Pain, I'm pretty sure it will offset even the damage that the Fleshcraft will take into the Ignore Pain. That is just a nice way to offset any kind of damage. Battle sets coming down for Warrior as he did recover quite a bit of health. That Fleshcraft shield is a shield, but it can't be purged. It can't really be removed by anything. So it's essentially, effectively, is basically his health. Since the hold on for a whole 2 minutes. Could be shorter. Warbreaker coming down for Buff Warrior. Disarm with Chicago. Trying to see if he can catch up. Bladestorm coming out. Cannot quite catch up to Chicago. Able to maybe nip them here and there while Bladestorming, but that's about all he can do at the moment. Pop back in the defensive stance while Chicago is giving him a little bit of a breather. Letting this guy just sit in defensive stance while Chicago catches up. Stormbolt meeting him up the pillar. And it looks like Chicago is playing mostly the same build, mostly the same enhancement build that he does on live. No new Honor Towns this time. Also, I do need to bring up that one website, dressvar.com, that actually has all the new class changes for 9.1, all the new Honor Towns, so we can kind of see them for ourselves. For Warrior, I think it's mostly not too much. I think all they have is the Warbringer. Actually, is Warrior running Warbringer? Does his charge land a stun? Looks like the battle shout wears off. The Ghost Wolves are there, and Chicago wasn't even anywhere near them, just letting the Wolves kind of just maul him apart. Grim Grip up next. Last time, the amount of healing this guy suppressed with his Ranger Blows was absolutely insane. Coming in as a Venthyr Fury Warrior. We'll see if those rampages put pressure onto Chicago. Chicago does sneak away a heal in between. Bladestorm as the stun totem comes out, and Grim Grip making sure to disable the Bladestorm as soon as it's Chicago coming out away from the stun totem as soon as that thing is out. Grim Grip does need to get himself a big raging rampages in order to make sure that the healing that Chicago has is denied. Chicago not really moving the Kyrian totem. I think is blasting healing and damage, but Grim Grip is nowhere near it. So you kind of have to stand next to the totem to get the full value. And Chicago is able to actually get himself a little bit of healing. Grim Grip does get a charge off by the totem or one of the wolves. Take it out, but also get himself a little bit of rage. Has himself the constant rage generation. As long as he gets 2 rage blows back to back, he'll have constant rage regen as well as a little bit of healing. Stormbolt locking down Chicago. Might have wished he went for double charge here, but a Stormbolt to lock people down is going to be quite nice. Dora Shadow's trying to see if he might be able to juke away from Chicago. The Ghost just keeps him running. Can't really go, and I guess you can hamstring it, but the reduction was slow. The slow reduction the Ghost will get, I mean, it's going to be super hard to catch up with them anyway. Chicago actually quite a bit of pressure. If Grim Grip is running Slaughter, then Chicago will have a hard time healing every time those rampages come off, and as long as Grim Grip has the full thing of rage, he should be in a good spot. A quick blade storm, Rich Chicago does get away from that Sunder. If you can get him with a rage blow, he might be okay. Or a rampage rather. Chicago is actually out of mana completely. I don't know how their position was with Maelstrom. Needs a bit of mana. Does recover a little bit of health while in Ghost Wolf though. Grim though still trying to catch up to Chicago. Chicago has been able to avoid the Fear Word so far pretty well. Just with Ghost Wolf alone around the pillar. Just trying to avoid him as best as they can. Grim does play into the Draven shield to give him a shield every time he lands himself a Door of Shadows teleport, which is every minute. And most likely has actually... I think while he's under 50% health, he actually has a shorter CD of this if he has the expanded Soulbind. Chicago finds him super low. Could be lots of pressure. Grim does put up a full setup with the Rampage. Big condemns flying in right now. Chicago trying not to get interrupted. Does get interrupted on the hill. And Grim comes down with a big condemn. Seavark not playing the triple shield legendary, so it looks like he's playing some kind of an aggressive legendary. I'm guessing the one with missiles into barrage, if I had to imagine. Try to see if he can land a poly onto Grim. Has a reflect. Does go for a fire blast to reflect a big old blink away from Grim. And does go for a big old Arcane sphere. While the Necrolord thing is a massive sphere coming down with an Arcane blast to follow. Trying to make those blasts do a ton of damage. Chasing after Grim. And that's going to be Grim trying to get himself a bit of a charge. It's going to be all to time out for Seavark in case Grim got lots of damage. Uses also from ability. Big old interrupt with Seavark as he's trying to get himself a Fleshcraft up and running. The images come down to give Seavark a bit of a defensive. Still holding on to the Necrolord stacks, dude. He's just emanating with power as the Necrolord right now. What is this? What legendary is he running? That is my question. My question is, oh, I actually wonder if he was running that one where on Arcane Blast you have a chance to make your Necrolord ability Deathborn proc. I wonder if that's the playstyle he might be going for. Grim Grip trying to see if he might be able to get a port to see where it's going to be Arcane Sphere. Big old knockback as Grim leaps in. Seavark actually was able to send it out just a little bit earlier. Big missiles coming in. Most likely playing the Barrage legendary if I had to guess. He has to be. There's no way he is not. Whirlwind should be getting Seavark out in the open. Does pop Invis though, and when an Arcane Mage uses a big old Invis, that's he does get like a 60% DR. Trinket for Grim out of the root. Actually decided to go for a trinket out of that root just to catch up to Seavark. He just played super aggressive. The poly is going to give him a full reset and a catch up for health. And so is Seavark going for a little bit of food himself. Did Mages get anything new recently? I don't think they did. Huh. Grim catching back up to Seavark does have a bit of a temporal, so it's going to give him a little bit of health back. Tried to go for a knockback onto Grim, didn't quite work out. Stormbolt off of that Alter Time Leap, and then Bladestorm up and running. And Seavark is under quite a bit of pressure. Battlemaster Trinket getting used. And Grim getting kind of frozen up above, while Seavark trying to go for a bit of a reset yet again. Sitting down for even more food. We are at the 10-minute mark. The first duel with Chicago and the Arms Warrior was a pretty long one, but also Grim and Chicago were really tussling back and forth. Grim putting pressure on Chicago, Chicago going for resets, just really have enough damage. Looked like he was playing defensively the whole time, trying to maintain his healing. Grim so far has had the best sustainability of everybody here in this duel. The Warrior, dude, just like bringing it back to the good old days, dude, where Warriors had the great sustain, but also he puts more pressure on enemies. And I believe if he is running Slaughterhouse, someone's gonna have to catch, make sure for me. Like Christina might have to make sure. It should be a huge, huge damage out of him. Seavark's Lego. Arcane Harmony. Okay, so he's playing the Arcane Misses one. Yeah. That makes sense. Try to go for a Reflect versus Seavark with Poly. Didn't quite work out. Trying to Door of Shadows. Does he get the interrupt on Seavark? He does not. Big old charge coming in. Seavark does have a Fleshcraft rolling with a bit of slows for Grim. Needs those missiles to set up, but as soon as he tries to go for Grim, even though Grim puts himself in the root, he will stun Seavark just to lock him down for a second. Seavark landing a full poly versus Grim, able to catch up on a little bit of health. Another poly right after. The healing is not as good anymore. 53% dampening. Does have himself full Arcane missile set up. Grim does go for a flex. Some of those missiles fly back to Seavark, just trying to avoid the touch of the Magi damage. A touch of the Magi is going to do minimal damage. Arcane Sphere getting set up can definitely launch it behind the pillar. And Grim is going to get knocked back from with a barrage after. More slows from the images as the Nova comes in. Seavark trying to see if he has a good angle. Grim could turn around and start attacking the images if you want to. Stormbolt and Seavark does connect, even though Seavark went for a blink. If only he delayed that blink by a hair. That Stormbolt pose blink, normal blink, not even shimmer. was a little unfortunate. Seawork under lots of pressure. It's going to be Icebox, Shattering Throw coming out. Seawork again, Condemn just meets him to the face as soon as he comes out. That is a rough play, dude. Not only does Grim, as long as he's playing Slaughter, and Brochan I think can confirm it. Yep, he's playing Slaughterhouse. The Slaughterhouse, again, is basically, think of it, sharpened blades. Every time a warrior rampages, it's a 4-part hitter. Like it's 4 hits on a single rampage. Every time he hits an enemy with a rampage, he reduces the amount of healing they get by 15%. That stacks 4 times to a 60% healing reduction. With how often this man can rampage, I mean, it's basically up constantly. It's not quite a Mortal Strike effect from Arms Warriors, but when timed right, it is perfect. And Spencer actually just getting, oh my goodness, Spencer just actually got run over. I don't even know what happened. Swell is going to be up next. We'll call you Swell. Call you Swell, because this man is doing swell. It's actually SLWV. Swivel? I really don't know. Grim trying to see if he might be able to maintain his sustained versus his feral trinkets out of the Stormbolt. 63% DR or dampening into this duel right now. Fear onto feral. While Grim is just trying to see if he can buy himself some time. Rune Rage Regeneration does come out. Roar onto Grim. Does have a Berserker Rage out of it. That's going to be reckless. He's trying to stay next to Swell. Trying to go for Bloodthirst as often as possible. Does get maimed super far away. Can you reconnect with the Feral? Trying to see if you can reconnect. Big leap. But still trying to deny any kind of healing for Grim. Grim does get himself last bit of Ignore Pain. Trying to see if he can condemn down through the Feral. Act no health at all. Bashed by the Feral. Grim has all the dots in the world. Stripes out, turns it around onto the Feral right before he goes down. What just happened? Oh my god. Jesus, dude. Oh no, Yandex is the last one left. This warrior, bro. He plays one-handed. Is he? I think that's actually a two-hander. I think that weapon is actually a two-hander. It's a massive butcher's two-hander, I believe. My god. This warrior is out of control. Broton is up next versus Yandex. Damn, dude. Oh my goodness. I guess that Feral, that was a close one, by the way. That Feral, I think, was just chopping dots and just run away, get away from the guy. Yandex going up versus Broton. Going to be a Thorns as well as a Barkskin. Yandex, most likely is playing the very defensive playstyle for his Frost DK. Trying to get some big blitz onto Broton. Does he have the big rip? It looks like he doesn't. Regrowth available for Broton. It is worth remembering, by the way, that Yandex does have quite a bit of lag over on PTR. He does have quite a bit of lag on PTR, so if there's some weird movement, weird actions, or a delay, there's most likely is an actual delay over for his realms and the duels themselves. Big old wall available for Broton. Is just trying to get some bleeds into Yandex. Is going to give himself a flash grab to deal with the dots. And as long as he doesn't let Broton catch a reset, he'll be in a good spot. I wonder what kind of build Yandex is rolling though for this one. Big old Frostworm's Fury stun to Broton. I think Yandex is going to be able to take it down. Does play the silence, most likely got the Spell Warden. That's going to be giving him a shield every time he takes damage from magic abilities. That's about the best of the Death Knights can do. Kib up next as a Shadow Priest. Trying to see if he might be able to make a play here. Shadow Priest does get himself Void Eruption. Does not play the new Honor Talent with Shadow Priest by the looks of it. Whenever he does for Void Eruption. Going to be a Shadow Grass versus Yandex. Trying to see if I'm able to deal with it. Fear into Yandex for a second. Got himself a massive heal from Shadow Men's. Still might be able to do it. Actually, no, he is playing one of the new talents. He's able to run while casting. He got himself the... What's it? You know what he's got going on? He got himself the... Wow, what's it called? Surrender to Madness on a talent. Trinket 4... Kib is just trying to see if he might be able to deal with Yandex. Does get taken down. I wonder if Surrender to Madness is what taking him out. So I gotta actually bring that one back up. That Priest on a talent. So it's a Shadow Priest thing. Hopefully it's out of here. Megalomania. Gain Surrender to Madness talent. When Surrender to Madness would kill you, it would rather reduce it to 35% of maximum health, which could be pretty good. Yandex went up versus Christina. Like I said, just throwing down the holy damage. What can you do about it? Oh my god, Grim, you are absolutely fantastic, my guy. Have we ever played with Grim on live? Has Grim ever joined us? And I thought it was like a Grim for the Warrior. I know, right? Is that Cracker? Is that just...